Welcome to our webcast today, Bold Leadership, a critical competency for the future. I'd say, Jack, that's pretty critical right now, isn't it?
Yeah, the future is here. That's right.
You know, we've seen so many good examples and some bad examples. So what's great about it is we can talk about the good and the bad today. And I'm here with my good friend and partner, Jack Zinger. Jack, you're home?
I'm home. Social
Safe?
distancing. Yep, safe.
Well, and washing your hands. Well, I'm safe and well too, and excited to do this webcast today. As I get up in the morning, I watch the news. That's a terrible way to start the day.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do that, but I watch the news and I get depressed, right? Because the numbers go up and gosh, you feel a bit helpless. I mean, there's a few things you can do to stay safe. I mean, we know what they are: social distancing, washing our hands, not having personal contact, wearing the mask. I'm wearing the mask right now. Well, not here, but when I go out in public. But there's so many factors we don't have any control over. And this is an invisible thing. You don't know what's going to happen. And people feel a little helpless in this situation. We have a little recommendation, and there's one thing you can control, and that is you can change yourself. And our idea here is that changing yourself can change the world. Jack, you agree?
Well, I agree. And there's two ways I guess we can all change ourselves. One is to change our reaction to what's going on around us, and the other one is to change our behavior. And today we're talking about a little bit of both, but we are specifically suggesting some things that we can do behaviorally that maybe will help us deal with the challenges of this worldwide pandemic.
Yeah, as you think back on this experience, I mean, there's lots of things you'll remember. Maybe you'll remember how long it was and how bored you were and all these other things. But imagine if you can really develop a new skill during this period. Wouldn't that be amazing? I mean, that would be a really nice thing to have happen during this period. So a lot of webinars you go to, you listen to them and you kind of sit back and relax and you just listen. I want you to do something different here. I want you to listen with the intent of finding one or two things you can do to be more bold. And bold is a really critical competency. It has tremendous impact. We're going to show you about that. And I think it's important that everybody develop some boldness. And we're going to teach you how to do that today. As you think about the definition of bold leadership, influential behaviors that push boundaries, have a strong, immediate impact on both people and organizational outcomes. And so as you think about that, we first got introduced to bold by one of our colleagues, Kevin Wilde. And Kevin Wilde came to us and he says, I want to study bold leaders. And we said, what are bold leaders? And he started describing it. And I said, Kevin, give me 15 people you think are bold. And we had measured all these people. We had gotten 360 feedback on them. And he gave me the 15 people. And then I looked at their results on a 360 assessment and compared it to other people. And what we identified were 7 things that characterized the people that he said were bold, and they were. One is they challenged standard approaches. 2, they created an atmosphere of continual improvement. 3, they did everything possible to achieve goals. They were really on it, and they were really trying to do a lot to achieve a goal. Get others to go beyond what it was originally thought possible. They got people to stretch. They energized others to take on challenging goals. They recognized situations where change was needed, and they had the courage to make the needed changes. If you think about these 7, that is a really interesting, and leaders that did that well, they were bold. And that's our definition of bold. And as you think about bold leaders, you kind of think about some bold leaders and there's some bad behaviors. Well, I call them the 3 A's. They're aggressive, they're autocratic, they're arrogant. And if this is how you display bold, it has a very negative side effect, and it doesn't help you as a leader. Jack, you probably met some of these people.
I've met him, usually him, but maybe a few hers, I guess. But yeah, I think what's fascinating to me, Joe, about this topic is that being bold is one of those behaviors that clearly it's a two-edged sword. It can cut both directions. And, you know, we've got some colleagues who have written a lot about kind of strength taken too far become a weakness. And they've used as an example of that, the behavior of being aggressive or assertive. And we've kind of disagreed with them. And we've said, well, you know, a truth strength, you can't do too much. But bold is clearly one of those things that you can do too much. And it's especially a problem when it isn't balanced. So I think you've got some more things to talk about in terms of good bold behavior. And we see them listed here. Go ahead and kind of show them.
Yes, as you see on the screen, Jack, you can see there's a set of good bold behaviors. And what we did is we looked at leaders who were in the top 10% in terms of their ability to be bold. And we said, well, what did they do that was different than the average leader? And what we found is they were very skilled at getting others to stretch. They constructively challenged standard approaches. They inspired and energized others. And I think that was very different than the bad, bold behaviors, because they tended to be aggressive, assertive. They tended to push more than pull. They helped others understand. They were sensitive to the needs of others, and they found ways to improve ideas. So we do believe that bold can be a very, very helpful behavior, but we need good bold, not bad bold. So let's look at the impact of boldness. Now, this graph